Hey everybody, Wade here. So, what's more American than pizza? You can get that lovely cheese pizza delivered straight to your front door, or you can get it at the store, but let's be honest. What if I told you you could make this at home, from scratch, with not much effort? With a little finesse and a little science, you can make your own pizza at home. Let's go.
Will you be leaving?
Okay, the first thing that I would recommend is getting a food scale. Now, if you're a drug dealer, you probably have one of these already, so go ahead and grab it. Okay, you're going to add 500 grams of all-purpose flour. Okay, the next thing you need to add is 1 1/3 cups of water. Now this needs to be about 100 degrees, so some warm water. Here's the thing, if it's too hot, it's going to kill your yeast, and that's going to be the yeast of your problems. Okay, so speaking of yeast, we're going to need some active dry yeast. It comes in a jar form or a packet form like these. Okay, so we're going to add 2 teaspoons or 1 packet of active dry yeast to our warm water. Okay, next we're going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, go ahead and grab a whisk and incorporate that, kind of stir it around a little bit. Okay, this is the fun part. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, and what's going to happen is that yeast is going to start to form into a foam-like texture. This is good because you know your yeast is alive. If you don't see this happening, well, it's a good chance you killed your yeast. This is why I like bread making, because of the science behind it. Okay, next you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And our final ingredient is 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm going to use a stand mixer to mix this up. Now you can do this by hand and knead your bread by hand, but I'm telling you this will change your game. So go ahead and put your bowl in and get it set up. Okay, we're going to use the dough hook. This is going to be important for kneading that bread together and incorporating all the ingredients. Okay, first step, let's go ahead and add some of our flour. Okay, start your mixer at low and let's get this dough together. Now what you want to do is add the rest of your flour a little at a time. You'll start to see it come together, and what you want it to do is pull from the sides cleanly. Now let this run for about 7 minutes, and that's going to knead this dough cleanly together. Okay, once that's done, you're going to have a consistency kind of like batter. You want it to be pulled off pretty easily and not stick to the sides, but a little bit wet. Alright, lightly flour a work surface and let's get our pizza dough made. Alright, let's get that bad boy on there. So just scrape it out of the bowl. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a little wet like this, because you're going to make it come together with the flour that's on the table there. Alright. Get all of it out there. Oh. Last little bit. Alright. Sticky. Okay, dust a little flour on top. And let's start kneading this by hand. What we're going to do is try to get this into a nice round ball. Alright, continue to knead. It'll start coming together. It'll start getting more smooth. That's what you want. Alright, now start shaping it. Kind of fold it a little bit and start making it into a final ball. You see how I'm rolling it around here? That helps with the formation. You can also tuck it in on itself like so. Alright, there we go. Next, get a large bowl and drizzle some olive oil inside. And what you're going to do is brush that all around. Every little crevice you can get. Okay, drop your dough ball into the bowl. Coat the top a little with some oil. This prevents drying out. Okay, add some plastic wrap on top. You can also do a damp towel and get that completely across as tight as you can. Okay, the next step is important. We want our dough to rise, so let it sit in a warm, dry place for about 2 hours or until it's doubled in size. And there you go. Check this out. So now it has doubled in size, probably even more. So what you want to do is get in there and punch it down. I love that part. Alright, start bringing it together. And, what's this black thing? Whatever. Okay, so get that all together. And let's go back to our prep table. Okay, so if you didn't know this whole time, you actually have enough dough here to make 2 pizza crusts. So grab your handy scale again, and we're going to see how much this weighs. About 831 grams, so about 416 or so in half. So just weigh that out individually. So close. A little closer. Just take off little bits until you get close enough. Good enough. Okay, so now you have 2 separate pizza doughs. You can actually save one and use it another time. So you can put it in plastic wrap and into a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer. When you're ready to use it again, just bring it out in the morning or whatever, overnight, and let it come to room temp and it's ready to go. Alright, let's make some pizza. So put down some flour, grab your dough ball, and sort of pat it out into a circular shape. Now, you can flip it and be all professional. I've tried to do this and I'm not great at it. So I do kind of grab it and let it fall on its own weight like this. But the best thing to do for beginners is to get a rolling pin. So let's do that. Okay, start rolling it out, and we're going to make obviously a circular pizza. You can make it whatever shape you want, but we're going to do the classic circular pizza pie. Okay, just keep rolling and it'll start taking shape, as you can see. You can also pick it up and sort of move it around, stretch it some more. Kind of helps with the elasticity. Alright, now it's starting to take form. And it's okay if you go a little bit bigger, because I'm going to show you why here in a second. Okay, grab a pizza pan, which you should have in your arsenal. And now I'm going to put down some cornmeal on the bottom of this pan. Now what this does is sort of help it not stick to the pan, for one. It also gives a nice little flavor to the crust on the bottom. Okay, let's grab our crust. It's going to be very silky like that. Just drape it over. It's okay if it's you know, weird looking. You can put it right into the place it's supposed to go. Okay, all this extra is going to be our outer layer of pizza crust. So just kind of tuck it under like that. You can see how I'm starting to form. You might have some that are bigger than others, and that's fine. We're not trying to be perfectionist here. You see how it's coming together. Just press down like this. And look at there. Okay, now the most exciting part, making the pizza. So you can make this obviously any way you want. I start with a drizzle of olive oil to put on that base. Just kind of brush that on. Get it all in the corners, all up on the outside crust. There we go. All right. Next thing I add is some Italian seasoning. Let's give that a dash. Okay, next I add some garlic powder. Okay, next is the sauce. Now this is my homemade sauce that you might have seen in the other video. I just don't add the bell pepper. Now you're welcome to use any sauce you want. If you have a marinara sauce, if you still like to get it from a can, maybe you like getting your sauce from a trash can. I don't know. Whatever is your preference. Okay, just spread this around. Some people don't like a lot of sauce, and that's okay. So just put as much as you like. Okay, now that that's done, what's next? Well, cheese, of course, mozzarella in particular. And what's pizza without cheese? Boring, I tell you. Okay, so I'm going to keep layering this on. And I like a lot of cheese, so much cheese that you can't see any of the sauce underneath that cheese. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now that we have enough cheese, this is going to be a classic pepperoni pizza. So let's add our pepperoni. Now pop that pie into the oven at 450 degrees until that cheese is golden brown. And boy oh boy, look what comes out. A homemade pizza from scratch. And you made it.